Welcome back to my channel. My name is Olive and this is going to be a short and sweet slow flow style of yoga. It's fairly ground based and you can do this anytime, whether in the morning, midday or just before bed. In terms of equipment, I would recommend grabbing yourself 1 or 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have one, you can use a pillow instead. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this slow style of class and we're going to start lying down on our back. So starting lying on your back, you're just going to plant your feet to the floor, whatever sort of distance feels comfortable. And we're just going to start by taking the left hand onto the chest and the right hand onto the belly, just spending a moment or so connecting here with our breath. Simply observing the movement of the body on the inhale and on the exhale. Perhaps understanding the rhythm and the pace of your breathing. And any other sort of sensations that come up for you, whether in the physical body or in your cognitive state. Taking one more breath here and exhale out of the mouth. Okay, release your hands down by your side. We're going to hug both of our knees into our chest, compressing them in as much as we are comfortable with. So really trying to draw the knees in towards the chest. And then just simply press the knees away. So maybe they come just above the hips. So we're just going to move through this a couple times, drawing the knees in and gently pressing them away. Just allowing the spine and the pelvis to gently move through some flexion. So rounding of the spine. Cool, we'll go one more time each way. And then planting your feet back down to the floor. Maybe take them a little bit wider than what they currently are. So you could take them as wide as your mat, for example. And you're going to open up your arms. So they come down to the ground either side. And you're creating like a T shape through your arms. So wrist, elbow, shoulder, all in line. One nice long line. You're just going to start by allowing the knees to drop down towards the left. They don't have to touch the floor. Come back through the middle, then drop them down towards the right. Again, they don't have to touch the ground. You're just going to start to flow through this movement. Just bringing some internal and external rotation towards the hips. If it feels really nice and you want to explore a hold, please feel free to just hold and breathe and see what comes up. Or you can continue just moving. But again, we move sort of mindfully. We don't rush through anything. We don't aim to create a desired shape. It's all about how it feels in your body and your mind. Okay. So the next time we take the knees down towards the left, we're going to bring the right arm with us. So as the knees drop down towards the left-hand side, you're going to reach your right arm up and across, and you're going to start to like roll over towards the left-hand side. So you can use your left bicep as a little rest, and the right arm can just kind of rest whenever. Just taking a moment to observe the breath here, possibly into the right rib cage. Taking one more breath here. And then gently roll back onto your back, reset the arms, reset the legs, and we go to the other side. So drop the knees down to the right. Bring your left arm round with you. Rest the head on the right bicep as the left arm comes to the floor. So a little bit more of a hold, potentially a slightly deeper position for the hips to come into. But again, breathing into the top rib cage. Take one more breath. And then come all the way back to the middle. Hug the knees into your chest. So coming up to seated, you can either rock side to side and roll over and come up, or you can rock up and down, maybe 2 or 3 times, and eventually bring ourselves up into a seated position. So in this seat, if you wanted to sit with crossed legs, you're welcome to, or if you wanted to sit kneeling, you can go for that as well. I'm going to take kneeling because it's most comfortable for me. And from here, we're going to take our left hand behind us. And we're going to place that left hand in between our sacrum. So the palm is facing away from us, and we're going to just allow that shoulder to roll backwards or maybe forwards a couple times, just kind of mobilizing into that joint. And then we drop that chin to the chest and take right ear towards right shoulder. And again, as you are here, if it felt good, maybe you move the head around a little bit, take it through some different kind of circles. You can continue moving through that left shoulder. You could press even more through the top of your hand, through the back to get maybe a bit more feedback. And breathing. And then as you drop the chin to your chest, swap the hands over, so right hand behind, left ear towards left shoulder, finding those circular kind of movements again into that right shoulder. You can move the head around. Take it through whatever kind of paces feels really good. Okay. And then as you bring the chin back to your chest, this time you're going to interlace both hands, take them behind your head, drop the chin down, maybe round the spine even more. So think about drawing your rib cage towards your hips. Breathing here, close down the elbows, draw them in nice and close. Breathing all the way down the spine. On your next inhale, return the spine to neutral, so looking forwards, and then into extension. So think about pressing the chest forwards, squeeze the shoulder blades together, looking up, letting the head rest into the hands, breathing down into the front of the body. Taking one more breath here. And bring that chin all the way back to the chest, release the hands, take them out into the T shape but palms face the ground. So again, a little bit more movement into the shoulders. As you spin the right palm up, you're going to spin the right palm down. So you're creating this lovely kind of twist, and then you just start to swap. And you go as deep as you want to go. This is again just internal, external rotation for the shoulder joints. Feels really nice and juicy. You can even couple it with sort of like squeezing your scapula, your shoulder blades together for a little bit more. Okay, last one. And then bring it all the way back. Let's transition into our tabletop. Let's take a moment to just establish contact between the hands, the knees, the toes. Find any kind of movement here for the body, whether it's small circular kind of movements for the wrists, or loading the weight back into the toes, the sole of the foot, or maybe some cat-cow movement, flexion and extension off the spine. See where you are at. Allowing that breath to just keep flowing. Little circles into the spine. Think about all the possible directions that it can move in. Okay. And when you're ready, coming all the way back to a little bit of stillness. Now into perhaps my favorite stretch of the moment. We're going to start to walk both hands over towards the left-hand side. So maybe they come off your mat. And take your left elbow down to the ground and slide the right hand away from you, but come up onto your fingertips. When you're in the fingertips, it's a little bit stronger than flat hands. So up onto the fingertips, keep the hips high, drop that chin down to your chest. And observing the breath and the response of the body as you move into this pose, as you hold it here. Keeping again that breath nice and regulated, just allowing it to flow. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And when you're ready, lift the chin, look forwards, walk the hands all the way in. And we go over to the other side, so walk the hands round to the right. Your right elbow drops to the ground, your left fingertips slide away. Push into the left hand, drop that chin down to the chest. And again, breathing here. Does it feel different? Does it feel the same, but to the opposite side? What's kind of going on? Again, observing sensations, what the body is talking to you about. Taking one more breath here. And then slowly lift, walk yourself all the way back up into a tabletop position. Okay, from here we're coming into gate pose, so extend your left leg out towards the side. So the arch of your foot is in line with this right knee. Let's just start with some gentle movement backwards and forwards into the heel and then forwards into the wrists to sort of just observe what's going on towards the inner thigh of the left leg. As you do this as well, you can peel the toes off the ground, or you could really reach the arms away. Again, just start to see what direction you want to take it in. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of movement into our thoracic spine. So bring the shoulders back over the wrists. You're going to take your left hand again to that same area, the sacrum, so the palm is facing upwards, and just start to find these rotations through the shoulders. As you do, start to rotate the chest towards the left side. Now you can hold it here. You can keep reaching up, maybe with the left arm up and above you. Or one of my favorite things right now is to reach this left arm above my head, tap the ground in front of the right hand, and then reach it all the way behind. So you can start to find that kind of additional movement as well. You can hold in any kind of position. Again, it's all about listening to your body and taking it into a direction that feels good. Okay, let's take one more breath wherever we are. And then from here, bring your left hand back down to the ground. You're going to step the left toes or the left leg straight behind you this time. And then just rock backwards and forwards. So we get a little bit of movement working down into left calf, left hamstring. Lovely. Okay, let's take a moment, bring the left knee back in, come down into a child's pose, arms out in front of you. Let the hips move as close to the floor as you like. Remember, you can always take a pillow or your block underneath your hips, or you can do this more sort of upright onto your elbows. It's just a moment to again take some of the pressure out of the wrists and observe the breath moving down the back. Okay, let's go one more breath here. And then when you're ready, rising all the way back up into your tabletop. So this time we are going to extend that right leg out towards the side. So again, arch of the foot in line with the knee. And when you're ready, rocking backwards and forwards. See how this side starts to respond. Remember, you can peel and lift the toes up and off the ground. Whatever feels good. You can really reach the arms away. Okay. When you're ready, let's take that right hand towards that sacrum, palm facing up. Roll through those shoulders, get a little bit of movement. You can start to rotate the chest towards the right hand side. Again, maybe reach up with that right hand, see where you want to take it. Again, remember, we can reach and tap the ground in front of the left hand with the right, and then big circle back, reaching it behind us. Wherever you kind of want to take it, start to find your movement that suits you and your body best. Okay, let's go for one more breath here. Bring that right hand all the way back down to the floor. And then you're going to transition, take the right toes directly behind the hip, and again start to rock backwards and forwards. Little bit of feedback again into the calf and the hamstring. Lovely. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to bring that right knee back in and then sink down onto our heels. You can stay more upright, like upright kneeling if it feels better. Let's just clasp the hands together and just take them through some joint rotations, change directions. There's a lot of clicking going on. And you can take them through some light waves as well. Change direction as well with that. Okay, lovely. And then just release them by your side and just flick the fingers a couple of times. Just releasing. Lovely. Let's check them out. Okay, cool. So, coming back into your tabletop position, You're just going to walk the knees a little bit further behind the hips. And then from here, just start to rock forwards and backwards into the heels and then forwards into the hands. We're going to progressively move through various positions here. So rocking forwards and backwards, when you feel like you have perhaps a confidence, you can start to lower the hips towards the ground and squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift the chest, and then press it all the way back to child's pose. So just exploring some spinal waves a little bit more dynamically. You can keep the toes tucked or they can go flat to the ground, whatever's more comfortable. If you felt like you were there today, you could maybe even add in a plank or a downward dog as you come forwards and backwards between the two poses. Again, just sort of start to see where your body is at. You don't have to move as quickly as I'm going. If you wanted to hold or move slower, that's always welcome too. We're going to take 2 more breaths here wherever we are. And then if we all just transition back into a plank for a second, we're going to draw that left knee in towards our chest. Ankle lands behind the right wrist. Maybe slide your back leg away so you give the body a little bit more room. You can always take a block and place it underneath your left glute or a pillow. And we're going to walk out and come down into pigeon pose. Whether the arms are still straight, or whether you take your forearms down to the ground, or whether you drop the chin down to your chest. It's also quite nice as well to have another block handy if possible. And you could like rest your forehead on the block on whatever level feels good. We're just going to hold here, just going to breathe. Allow the body to feel supported by the ground beneath you. So think about lightly pressing the knees in towards the ground. Allowing the breath to again stay with ease and consistency as much as you can. Okay, let's take 1 more breath here. When you're ready, start to slowly rise all the way up. Pop your block out from under the hip if it's there. We're just going to push through the hands, tuck the toes of the right leg so we can step back into plank, and then move into the other side. So right knee moves in, ankle behind the left wrist. Allow the back leg to move away. Make use of your blocks wherever. And then again, slowly bring yourself down into your comfortable expression of pigeon pose. Might look totally different on this side, and that is completely fine. Again, you just see where you are at. Simply breathing, observing what's going on in this pose. Remember, try to lightly engage and press through the legs. Okay, let's take 2 more breaths here. Lovely. When you're ready, looking forward, slowly walking the hands all the way back in. You can pop your blocks off to the side. Push through the hands once again, step back into your plank. Bring the knees back down to the floor, then lower the whole body down to the ground. You can untuck the toes, and we're just going to interlace the hands behind our back. So really think about squeezing your shoulder blades together. The heel of the hands don't have to be touching, but we're just going to take an inhale, push your feet through the ground, push the hips to the floor, lift the chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Maybe the hands lift off the lower back if it feels comfortable. If you wanted to change it up, you can always release and have the hands by your side. But just taking 2 more breaths here, really thinking and focusing on squeezing the muscles off the upper back. 1 more breath. And then releasing all the way back down. Make a little pillow with your hands by stacking them. You can drop the chin and just let the hips rock side to side. Okay. Last couple of poses. From here, you're going to start to bring the left heel in towards the butt, and then bring the knee all the way up towards the left elbow as high as you are comfortable with. The foot can be as far away or as close in as you like. And just to bring a little bit of movement into the upper body, I'm going to say reach your right hand directly above the head so it's flat to the ground. And then as you let your head rest onto the right shoulder, you can either keep your left hand next to you, or you can wrap it around your back. Just see where you want to take it, wherever is most comfortable. Again, just observing the breath moving in towards the body, the sensations that are created by this pose. Lovely. Again, we're going to go for 2 more breaths. And then when you are ready, nice gentle switch. So just reset the arms underneath the shoulders. Reset that left leg behind you. And then we're going to bend the right leg, bring the heel up towards the elbow. Left arm reaching above our head. Let the head rest down onto the left shoulder. Again, right arm goes wherever, whether it's wrapped around your back or it kind of stays put where it is. But again, just breathing, seeing any kind of differences on this side. Do you need to make any sort of adjustments? What's going on? Okay. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then when you're ready, reset hands. And right leg, you're going to slowly push yourself all the way up to a kneeling position. Or if you wanted to take cross leg, that's absolutely fine. But take a moment to just bring the spine to neutral, close down the eyes. When you're ready, left hand onto the chest, right hand onto the belly. Taking a moment again to reconnect with the body, to reconnect with the breath. Understanding and listening to the movements of the body with the inhale, with the exhale. Observing any physical sensations or cognitive experiences. Take a final inhale with me. Exhale out of your mouth. And when you're ready, both palms together, rub them against one another, building some heat. Take your hands over your eyes, and slowly release and come back when you're ready. So thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed. If you had any feedback, please feel free to drop it in the comments below, and I will see you next time.